What's up, fellow preppers? Army Vet Florida Prepper here, and in today's episode, we've got a lot to cover. We're going to be talking about why the shelves seem like they're getting a little bit more stocked up, what I feel about the COVID-19 pandemic, how the media's covered it, and also at the end of it, we're doing a new segment where I pull something off the shelf, and I'm going to explain to you why I prep it and why I feel it's something good to prep. So stay tuned. There's a lot to cover in a short amount of time. What's up, fellow preppers? So here we go. Another video out there for you guys. It's a day late from what I wanted, but I put a lot of thought into this whole episode and got some new equipment to play with. Try to make these videos even better than what they are. Growing little by little. Speaking of growing, thank you to the new subscribers. I appreciate the subscribers. I want the views. I want this channel to get out there. And the more of you that follow me, the more that what I'm doing can get out there. And don't be shy. If you want to comment in the comments, you got ideas or for videos, whatever, go ahead and throw them in there. I'll look at them. That's what I want. I want you guys to interact with me as much as I'm going to try to interact with you. I also have my email down in the description if you have anything that you want to ask me on a personal level, as in you want some help trying to figure out what kind of prepper you want to be or what level you want to be at. If you want to be just a basic prepper, you want to be a 3-month, 1 year, 2 year, end of the world, however you want to do it, hit me up in the email. I have no problem contacting with you. We might even do a phone call and we can get more in depth about it. My services are free. I have nothing to sell you, nor do I want to sell you anything. I'm out here to put my knowledge out there to help you guys as best I can. That's what I want to do. That's what I've wanted to do. That's what my goal is with this. So with that out on the table right there, don't forget, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe if you aren't already. Hit the notifications, hit the bell icons. That way you can be notified whenever I get a new video out. Because your views help me. Your views help me. I'm not looking to get paid. I'm not looking to monetize. It could come in the future. It's not something I'm after. If it does, that's awesome because it will help for me to bring you guys better content. But my goals are to just get this information out there. So for you new subscribers, welcome. For you subscribers who have been there since the beginning, thank you. To all those out there that have had a heartache with this whole pandemic and lost someone dear and close, related or not, my heart goes out to you from me and my wife. We know it's a rough time. We've seen some rough times ourselves with us both being ex-military. It's hard. It's hard dealing with loss, and I, from the bottom of my heart, I hope you guys are able to weather the storm and be able to make it through. That goes to everybody, whether you're struggling from being out of work or you're struggling because you don't know what to think of all this. It's a rough time. I feel COVID-19's maybe been taken to a level that maybe it didn't have to go, but it did. At the same time, though, I understand the concerns and the fear of others. I have a really close friend that's lost a family member to the COVID-19, and it's pretty serious. It hits home whenever you find out there's someone that that has someone really close to them. I may not have directly known them, but feeling him telling me about it in the way that it was hitting him emotionally, it's a serious thing. It's a serious matter. For all you first responders out there, keep doing your thing. You guys are doing great. I wish you guys nothing but health and, the best of luck with everything. For the military out there, those of you that are trying to come home, but you couldn't because you got put on lockdown, I feel for you. Hopefully this will be lifted soon so you can be home. For the police force out there, you guys are out on the front line. Keep doing your thing. Stay safe. We don't want to see a bunch of people contracting this stuff. For those of you out there that are really scared, I'm here to tell you everybody's scared. They don't know what to think. We don't know whether to believe the news media or not to believe the news media. It can go either way. We don't know. So COVID-19 is a unique virus. We've never seen it before. It's in the corona family. We've seen those before. This one reacts completely different. We don't know what tomorrow brings or who's going to find what or when the vaccine's going to come or when everything's going to open back up. But we'll weather the storm. That's what we do. This whole channel is about being prepared and being ready. General prepping, whether you're on an extreme level or the smallest level possible, I hope a lot of people out there have learned their lesson that they need to at least keep something. And I'm not saying you have to go out there and buy tons of stuff. You can just buy a little bit every time. That's what we do here. And it's really hard to sit there and think that, oh, well, I don't have to be prepared. I'll just go buy it. I mean, a lot of people learn that thing, but also we've also seen an influx. And I'm going to get to the topics I talked about. We saw an influx in the stores. Me and my wife went out on Friday and I pointed at the meat, and lo and behold, there was a lot of meat on there. And for the last couple of weeks, there hasn't been any. A lot of boxes of cereal, a lot of things that I've been missing are there. And that's great. That's good to know. That means they're catching up with the demand. But also the demand is also going down because a lot of people went out and bought the stuff. So that's a couple things. And on a prepping note, that's good for preppers. It really is. Because that means that we're going to get deals. And that's what we want. That's how you prep on a budget. Yeah, be deals, BOGOs, buy one, get one, buy two, get one. That's what we're looking for, meat on sale, because we live in a just-in-time delivery service system here in America. And that means that they don't have massive stockpiles in the back rooms. They order it to fill the shelves the next day. So when they have too much stuff, that's where you get the deals and the sales. So keep your eyes open, because that's the best time for you to go out there and get them deals, start filling your shelves up. I'm watching for them. If you know what, if you're in Florida and you're in the central area and you know of any crazy deals going on, go ahead and throw that down in the comments. Let everybody else know. Actually, you know what? If you're anywhere watching this video, there's a bunch of deals going, throw down what city and state you're in. Let them know where it's at. Let's work together. Let's build together. Let's do this together. That's what the whole point of this channel is. We need to be working together to build the network so everyone's ready. Whether we prep together or you just follow the channel, learn how to do it, the more everybody's ready, the less craziness that happens like it did when this pandemic happened. Don't read into the news media. They're going to do whatever they can to get views. That's how they work. So it's unfortunate, but that just is what it is. It's hard to say. You got to take a little bit from everybody and formulate your own thoughts on it and how you feel it's being handled or what's going on and stuff like that. Use your brain. Be part of the problem solving part. Don't be part of the problem, and don't be that person that sits on the outside that doesn't formulate anything or think for yourself. You want to take everything you can and put it all into one big pile and then figure out how you feel. And I can tell you how I feel all day long, but it really comes down to what you feel and you believe and stuff like that. So, don't just take everything you hear and push it out one ear, or don't just listen to one thing and go by that, because it can go. It's all up for grabs right now. No one really knows what's going on, so it's all new and stuff like that. So I mean, that's how I feel about all that with the news media and everything like that. I'm going to put a link in the description to a website that I use. It's a really good website, updates pretty regularly. It's predominantly for the state of Florida, but it does also list for the world and for the United States by city and state. So it's a good website. I'll go ahead and put the link in the description below. We are in a time where people are being woken up to the idea of being ready for the future. You never know what can come your way. And it actually kind of excites me, because at one time, being a prepper was something that someone would hide. And now you have people out there that are thinking, why haven't I never done this before? So this is a good time for, if you're already a prepper, to go ahead and get out there, help your friends and your family and your neighbors become preppers, build the community, make them understand that they need to be part of the solution, not the problem. If everyone has a little bit of prepping, then things don't go crazy whenever it starts going crazy. We wouldn't have all this shortage on stuff. So the COVID-19's opened the eyes to a lot of people. So if you are a prepper out there and you have family and stuff like that, go ahead and, get out there, help them, tell them why they need to prep, do all that. That's how you build the community. That's how we build this together. That's just how it works. And I'm guilty of it too. Just recently have I actually started reaching out to friends and family and being like, hey, you know what? I have a YouTube channel. Check it out. Then, hell, my dad blasted it out to all his group of friends and I started getting more views. That's, you can't hide if you're a prepper. The whole point of this channel is to help those that want to become preppers do it on a budget, but it's also to get more awareness out there for prepping. There's plenty of huge prepping channels out there, and I've called them out before for doing the same thing they always do. They're only about the buck. That's all they care about. That's not what this channel is about. They're all about the buck, and that's not what it's all about. It's all about prepping on a budget. Don't break the bank. Not all of us have the money to go out there and dump the money. So it's really exciting to see that I'm starting to get followers and that the view count's going up on videos. It really means a lot. It's a lot of hard work and everything like that. So I don't want to go too crazy on that stuff. I just want to say thank you to everyone. Stay safe out there. Keep your social distancing. Wear the masks if you have them. Get rid of the gloves. Oh, man, get rid of the gloves. All you do is spread it. Unless you have enough gloves on hand to take it off every time you touch something or you transition from one area to another. And also at the same time, hand sanitizer, doing it to your hands and everything like that. Stop wearing the gloves. Just wash your hands. In the last video, I talked about a way to keep soapy water on you. Follow that. Do that. Please stop using the gloves. They kill me. They kill me. That's a new pet peeve that I have to add on to everything. And also realize that it's just another virus that we have to at some time become used to. It's going to come back again. Mark my words, it's going to come back again. So whether you feel this is something to be really panicked about or something not to be really panicked about, just remember there are those out there that have lost someone to it. So don't be completely cold to it. And I try my best every day not to sit there and be, this virus is not as bad as it could be, or as it, they thought it was going to be. I have my thoughts and my ups and downs with it. And I know part of this video is to talk about it. And I'll come out and I'll say it. I feel it's very over the top on everything, and they went too crazy with it all. And they should have just started sooner when they realized there was a problem and not just gone on the TV and just made a mass panic. They should have thought it out a little bit more. It's definitely something they should have kept an eye on. It's definitely something they should have put certain things in place to be able to keep it from spreading. I agree with that. I am not against that. I fully understand it. Completely understand it. I feel like they went crazy over the top too late and then realized that it's not as bad as they thought it was going to be. So they're maybe backpedaling a little bit to try to make seem like the craziness was worth it. It's possible. That's the thought that I have in my head. But every day I change my opinion. So don't come to me for opinions, but, everyone knows what an opinion is. So, it's one of those things. I feel like it's been over. It's time to start opening things back up. Not all at once. I'm not saying just one day they're like, hey, all businesses are open. But we need to start opening certain things. It's getting drawn out. There's a lot of people suffering from this. A lot of people suffering, and we don't want that. It's hard to see that. I don't want to see that. It just so we need to start seeing things open. We need to start getting back to doing regular daily things slowly but surely. Those that might be able to be, contract it and be in harm's way of it, where you might, could die from it due to whether you're healthy or not, or if you have an immune problem or you're elderly, those ones need to stay home. But healthy, able to work, people need to go out there. Now, if you have someone that's back home that's pregnant or things like that, like, I understand. I fully get it. And I'm up and down with it, just like everybody else is. I have friends that have, kids. I have, a friend that has a wife that's pregnant, and it's a big, it's a big ordeal, and you try and take the precautions. I fully get it. It's definitely a rough time, but we'll weather the storm. That's what we do. That's what we're about. We have weathered so much worse in the past, and we will get through this just like we have everything else. So stay strong, do everything you can, be ready, for anything to change at any time. And most importantly all, get prepared, be ready. So now we're going to go ahead and hit up this next segment here that I came up with at the end of it. I'm going to talk about something I'm going to pull off the shelf. So stay tuned just a little bit longer and we'll get into it. And just like that, we're back into the new segment that I have on the end here. So what I have in front of me is some of the canned stuff that I'd like to stock. You don't have to go with this brand. This is not in any way a sales pitch for any of this stuff. You can stock any brand you want, cheaper, expensive, however you want to do it, whatever your budget entails. But here I have some of the basics. You have your green beans, your corn, your peas, your carrots. I have a lot of different beans here, kidney beans type stuff. Even though I'm stocking them up here in the dry, I still have them here in the can because you get liquid. And what a lot of people don't realize with this stuff is that it has a really long shelf life. Once the can starts to bulge, that's when you really have an issue that might be something bad. But that doesn't mean it's bad. You got to open it and you got to test it. You got to look at it, you got to smell it. You'll know if it goes bad. But a lot of this stuff will have up to a 10-year shelf life on it. I can't tell you exactly what because I don't have anything that's that old yet. But it's going to last a long time. But you want all the basics. And the reason why I also have the beans too, because when water is scarce, so say you have a stockpile of water, but maybe you haven't filtered it yet, or you need to cook. You maybe have a low amount of water on hand, or it hasn't rained a lot. You can use the juices from the can to cook with. You can make a lot of stews, especially if you're out there hunting trying to survive. You can make a lot of, however, you can make a lot of things with all this stuff, and you can use the juices to cook this stuff because you have to boil it in water most of the cases, but a lot of people, they dump the fluid out of the can, but this is going to be saturated with a lot of the nutrients and stuff, the water in here, more so than if you have purified water or filtered water. It's going to have, because it's been sitting in there and soaking in there. If you open it up and it tastes good, smells good and looks good, there you go. You got some more stuff you could throw in there. So you want to stockpile cans. Cans work really, really good. It doesn't matter what brand it is, doesn't matter, what type it is. This one right here happens to be a no salt added. I grabbed several of these at one time when I was going at it, and my mistake, I didn't even think about it, but my wife says to me, she made a good point, because my wife does this along with me, that you don't want to get the no salt added because, salt is a big thing that's used for seasoning food. It adds a lot to it, and a lot of people don't realize that. So she was like, don't get this because, the more that we have where the regular stuff, where it has the salt in it, the normal levels of salt, then the less that we have to use of our stockpile. And I didn't even think of that. It adds more flavoring to it. So I was like, oh, okay. Makes perfect sense. So that's what I'm going to do. She was like, okay, good. So I do have a couple of these in rotation. We're going to cycle these out as the time comes. This one's dated for February 2020, whenever we purchased it. So it's on the front of the list to be chopped out of there because we started prepping right around the beginning of February. So the next time we need black beans, we're going to grab this one to get rid of it. Keep touching the microphone there. But yeah, so in this short little segment here, this is one of the things that I prep. I feel is a good thing to prep. Oh, right here, cream of chicken, my condensed soup. My wife came up with this idea. My wife, this is like my right hand man right there. She without her, I when it comes to the food stuff, I wouldn't know the stuff that you should have at the end of the world. And yes, everyone has their different opinions on it. This is what we do. I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm just trying to give you some ideas. But she was like, this will be really good for making soups and stuff. Yeah, so I was like, all right, cool. So I'll stockpile this. The same thing. It's in a can. It's dated. We got this one, 0420. I date it very simple. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll put it up there off to the side over there so that way you can see it. But I date it month and then year. So I do a total of 4 digits. So 0420 is what's on this can. That stands for April 2020. So I know for that month that's when this was purchased. So I know as I'm going through, as we're using and I'm replacing, I know to shift those forward to get rid of them the next time we cook something. It's a continuous rotation. I label everything on this wall. Everything on this wall is labeled, not my toilet paper. There's no reason to label that, but everything else on this wall, if it's a liquid powder, it doesn't matter. It's a solid, it is labeled when we got it. If I don't know when we got it, then I put ND on it for no date. NDPs for no date of purchase, and that's the first thing that goes out the pile if it's something that we can rotate out. So, or if it's something that we have to worry about, we rotate it out. That's just how we do it. So hope you like this new little segment here. I promise as time goes on, we're going to go get into doing cool things with the prepping. I'm still building as it goes, a whole new thing. I got new equipment in, kind of digging it. I hope I sound a lot better. I have planned for the future. I have one guest so far that I'm going to have on here. We're going to do a podcast style Q&A with him. He's a fellow firefighter. I actually worked in the service with him, and he's an EMT currently right now on a rescue. So we're going to get him in here, get his thoughts on it. He wasn't really into the whole prepping thing, but I've kind of turned him around on that, and I want to hear his thoughts on it and what he thinks so far and everything like that. So Stay tuned for the future episodes. There's a lot coming on. There's a lot going to be happening, and we're just going to grow together. So if you stuck to the video this long, thank you again for watching. If you like it, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notifications so that way you can see when I release new videos. Once again, preppers out there, be prepared, be ready. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next episode.